Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today it is the second part of my November book haul. I've already filmed this video 3 times and every time something has gone wrong. My dad called in the middle of one, my neighbours decided it was the perfect time to mow, and then other ones decided it was the perfect time to just ride up and down the driveway and scream. So hopefully this one's gonna go okay because I really don't want to have to refilm this. Let's jump into it. Most of these, I think all of these except for one, are 2020 releases. I was supposed to be on a book buying ban this month and I wasn't. We have some here that I bought from a new online bookstore. It is called the Amplify bookstore. It is just an online one and it's set here. It's based here in Melbourne, and they sell books just from authors of colour, and I bought some from them. They come up as an ad on my Facebook and I was like, that sounds like the kind of thing that I want to support. So very lucky that there happened to be 2 books that I wanted. Get a Life from Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the one that came out last year. I've wanted this one forever. People seem to really love it. Contemporary romance, not really my thing. I think I've liked maybe 2 authors that I've read from that genre. So I think this is going to be one that I do like. Main character is a person of colour. She is also chronically ill and I believe kind of a bit of a nerd. So I'm hoping that I'm really going to enjoy that aspect, as it's, you know, all 3 of those things together are definitely different from the vast majority of contemporary romance that I've tried and not liked. So hoping I'm really gonna like this one. And then I also got Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is a magical realism, I think, maybe a little bit fantastical, and it draws inspiration from Bolivian politics and history. I started reading this one just in between my last take of this and while I was waiting for my neighbour's kids to stop screaming, and I just read the first chapter and I really liked it so far. So hoping I'm gonna end up completely loving it. Have been wanting this book since it was announced late last year. And it came out early this year, I think in Jan or Feb, really early this year, and I just didn't pick it up. Stunning cover, really enjoying it so far, hope I will continue to. And then we move into 2020 releases. So most of these are from November, a couple are not, so let's start with those ones. Keep in mind that we often get different release dates here in Australia than elsewhere, so some of these might have come out a while ago in the US, like this one. This is The Art of Saving the World by Corinne DeVis. This came out in September, I believe, in Europe and the US, but it came out this month, or at least it became available here this month. So finally have it. Super excited. Corinne DeVis was the originator of the Own Voices hashtag. I just cannot get comfortable today. And also co-founder of Disability and Kidlit, and I wrote my honours thesis on her last book, On the Edge of Gone. So super excited about this one. Absolutely stunning. A little underneath there. There we go. Gorgeous. Super excited. Hoping to get to this one in December, but I have a lot of things that I'm hoping to get to in December, so we'll kind of see what I actually end up getting through. This one, do not know when this came out. I know it was this year. This is The F Team by Rawa Ajar. I talked about this in one of my most anticipated Aussie releases for the year, and there just was never a release date, and then I was literally in the bookstore and I saw it and I was just like, yes, I will have you. Don't know how long you've been out, but I will have you. And yes, super excited for this. This is about a football team, I believe, in West Sydney. I'm not super well versed in the suburbs of Sydney, so I could be making that up. But it features, I guess it sort of looks at the Lebanese community and a football team, which isn't really my thing, but I've heard amazing things about it. So giving it a go. More Aussie fiction. This is The Boy, the Wolf and the Stars by Siobhan Ploser. This one came out, I want to say on like the 17th or 18th, and I picked it up immediately because I loved Siobhan's first book, Frankie. It's one of my favourite books, and this is her debut middle grade. Frankie is a YA, and she also has another one called Tin Heart. She's a Melbourne author. Met her a couple of times and she's really, really lovely. And I just love me a good middle grade. And I especially love a gorgeous cover. And I love that it wraps around. And on the back here it says, 4 friends, 3 keys, 1 magical quest. Which just sounds awesome. I don't really know what it's about, I'm not gonna lie. I saw middle grade, I saw Siobhan Ploser, and I saw the cover and I was like, thanking you. So I guess I'm gonna discover when I read that. Again, I really would like to read all of these in December. I really don't think that's gonna happen, but I'm just so excited about them all. Another one of my most anticipated books of the year. This is The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. The Binding is one of my favorite books. One of the best books I read last year, and just one of my favorite books of all time. One of the most beautiful books, and I love that this kind of matches, despite it not being part of a series, because I just really love it when authors' books kind of have that same sort of look to them, and this also kind of has the old kind of, almost looks like a book itself, like an old book spine, so I love that. Don't really know what this one is about, but I did the same thing going into The Binding and loved that experience as well as the book itself, so I think I'm going to do the same with this. I know it kind of has like a magical school element to it, but more of like a university setting maybe, not really sure. Again, December. There's no way I'm going to be able to read these all. Okay, so this one, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, one that I've been immensely excited for this entire year. This is 1926 Shanghai, and it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I'm here for that. I love the 1920s. I love different settings from the US, and I also really like Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet, not my favorite, but I really like the kind of the tropes of Romeo and Juliet, so interested to see it in this. I believe this is like gangsters and like rival gangs, and that's how they're Romeo and Juliet. So super excited for that one. gorgeous cover. Not sure I'm going to get to this one in December, but maybe in I was going to say October, maybe in January. Yeah, one that I'd love to get to next month, but that's slightly further down the list than some of these. And then we have two here that I'm gonna consider kind of read. Okay, so this one here I have read, and that is Dearly by Margaret Atwood. This is her new collection of poems. Really pretty little like end papers of one of the poems that she's written and marked up. Really like these. I haven't read any of her poetry before, but really enjoyed it. And then the other one I have is The Camelot Betrayal by Kirsten White, which I haven't read yet, but I just reread the first one, and I'm going to be picking this one up next, which is hopefully before the end of November. I might not have finished it, but I'm pretty sure I will have, because I read the first one both times really quick in the space of a couple of hours. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the same with this one, even though it is a little bit bigger. I just really like this story, so hopefully I finish this either by the time this video is out or in the next few days, the first couple of days of December. Yes, super excited for that one. Super excited about all of these. Please let me know if you've read any of them, or if there are any that you are also interested in, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.